welcome to This Week on Main Street. Chris Owens here along with Perry Williams talking about what's happening in downtown Noblesville, and I guess a casual edition of the show today because I forgot my sport coat this morning.
Well, that's okay.
Okay.
People understand.
Have a little relaxing time here at the start of what's going to be a busy couple of weeks for us in downtown.
Yes.
You know, we've got First Friday coming up this Friday evening.
Absolutely, and the soup cook-off, and then early in the morning, Darren Peterson will be coordinating setting up for construction.
We'll actually get our start tomorrow. We go pick up cans around 1 o'clock and start to take them to all four of those locations for construction, which include the Visitor Center, Church Hittle and Antrim, Kiln Creations, and Little Bloomers. So he and his crew will get rolling early on Saturday morning, and they will, I guess we probably review what construction is for those who don't know. This is what our fourth year to do this, and started off with Darren creating one larger sculpture, creating a replica of the historic courthouse out of cans. Boy, that traveled. It was at the Visitor Center, and then did a version at Church Hittle and Antrim. A couple different varieties of things happening the last few years, and then last year we actually made the change to take it to multiple locations, so a little bit smaller sculpture, something that was relevant to each location. Or actually last year we used it to promote upcoming Main Street events. This year same locations but a few different sculptures, and we're looking forward to see what Darren and his crew come up with. And of course also already out, we spent our Friday morning together this past week putting out scarecrows, and to a really great review of those so far.
Yeah, that's a kind of a fun event for you and I.
Yeah.
And the amazing things that I think is like when we were putting up scarecrows this week, which the weather was beautiful, okay, when we did that last week, and one of the ladies come up and she goes, "Where can I buy those?" And so I thought that was kind of unique and everything, and we explained to her what we were doing and who made them, because she kind of thought we made them, okay, not having a clue what organization we were, so we got to tell our little spiel.
Well, if she would have come up on her price,
we came to bought, yeah.
No, I think we have 18 scarecrows out in downtown Noblesville right now, and some are very appropriately themed for the holiday. Yeah. There's some school spirit out there, and even a Pokemon Go scarecrow there. So we invite you. Those are out on 9th Street, North 9th Street, and Logan Street between 8th and 10th is where the majority of those scarecrows are. And so thank you to all who submitted this year. And the chance to vote for those will be coming up this Friday night at First Friday. The way you vote, we'll have some mason jars out at the Main Street tent on the north side of the courthouse square, and you can make a monetary donation. There are no rules. If you have submitted a scarecrow and you want to come donate $100 to ensure that you win, feel free to do so. It's fair game, and we've had a lot of the merchants submit their own version of a scarecrow as well. And so I believe the three divisions, if haven't gone over my scarecrow rules today, but I believe there's a children's, a business, and an adult division, and we'll be making those announcements on Friday evening via social media. So again, a great response, tremendous response from the community. It's a lot of fun for you and I to get out there to do. I don't think that you're off the hook just because you're leaving at the end of the year. We'll have to schedule that Friday morning together.
I actually enjoy that.
Might even buy you breakfast.
I actually enjoy that.
So we're talking about what's coming up in First Friday. It is the soup cook-off, as you mentioned, that is presented by Adler, Tessner, and Whalen. Certainly appreciate their contribution and support. You'll see the tent go up Friday morning will make it a little bit easier on me. Friday afternoon, at least, on the northwest corner of the courthouse lawn. And so far this year, participating numbers are down a little bit, and we've been in communication with restaurants as to why that is. There is a lot of need for help in our restaurants in downtown. So if you're looking for a job, server might be an option at one of our downtown restaurants. But joining us this year will be Ginger's Cafe, and I talked to Mickey earlier yesterday. She's actually going to be bringing two soups. I know she's got a cheeseburger pickle soup, and I don't know what the second soup is, but she's going to bring two varieties down to us. And Mateos is going to join in on the fun, and Adson and his crew always do a great job. They've got a lentil pancetta soup, And then Barley Island's going to be bringing a cheeseburger soup as well. And the Ville, with some help from our Noblesville Noonday Kiwanis, are going to be bringing a fall squash variety. And we may still have another option hanging out there, but we're waiting to hear on that at this time. Now, as if the construction and the scarecrows and the soups weren't enough, we also have a fall festival happening that time, and that's sponsored by Primrose School of Noblesville. Jackie Bell and her crew do such a great job. This is one of my favorite events throughout the year, and it looks like the weather's going to be phenomenal. But there's going to be pumpkins to decorate out there, too, as well as hay rides.
That's right, and it's always a great time. You're right about that, and I'm always amazed of the soups. The soups are always very, very good, and kind of tell the pricing on that, on how that's set up on the soup.
So all of these things that we've mentioned have a little bit of an admission charge. This is a fundraiser for Noblesville Main Street, and we have tickets available. They're $1 per ticket, and you can redeem those for a sample of soup there in the tent, or those also correspond to some of the activities. So I think maybe to decorate a pumpkin, it might be 2 tickets. There's a number of tickets it takes to get on the hayride. Otherwise, an additional feature of this entire evening is that at the Main Street tent we'll have kind of a trick-or-treat map, if you will. Many of the downtown merchants are opening their doors that evening and hopefully stocking up on candy. And that way, if assuming that most kids will want to wear their Halloween costume down, if they have it at this time, or would like to dress up just to celebrate Halloween, come down and join us for First Friday. I guess adults too, Perry. If you feel like dressing up Friday night and want to walk around to those stores, I'm sure they probably won't turn you away.
That sounds good. Sounds like a fun evening.
So it should be a great night. Again, it's 5 to 8 p.m. this Friday in downtown Noblesville. We'll be located on that northwest corner, really all along the north side of the courthouse lawn. The soup cook-off, again, presented by Adler, Tessner, and Whalen. And then our fall festival, presented by Primrose School of Noblesville. Construction, Darren Peterson of Peterson Architecture. That's happening throughout the day, and those locations, again, are Little Bloomers, Kiln Creations, Church Hill and Antrim, and then the Visitor Center there on the south side of the square. So it's going to be a great evening, and then we roll that into Saturday morning, and we're down to the last 2 Saturdays of the Farmers Market.
Hard to believe.
Boy, it really is, and very excited. I think next week we may even have a little bit of a rendering we can submit to Jim and show as part of the show next week, where we can kind of start to walk people through Federal Hill Commons. Federal Hill Commons, if you don't know, is the new park property that's located immediately on the north side of where we are now in the Riverview Overflow lot. Think of where the old Mariana branch used to be, and it's certainly you can't miss it if you've driven Logan or Connor anytime in the last year or so. This will be our long-term home, and it's something we're very excited about. The city has really engaged Noblesville Main Street as the provider of the farmers market from the concept stage all the way through design and now implementation and construction in how we can best facilitate the farmers market out there. And about a week ago, we were given a rendering on a foam core board and start to really work through how we're going to facilitate the market out there. There will be a few changes, and we're well aware of that, but we're starting to work through those now, even 7 months in advance. And I think there has been some concern about parking. There's been concern about vendors and facilitation of the market. Just rest assured that we're starting to work through all those now, and it's not like we're sitting here in March and in a panic. No, we're starting to talk through them well in advance. The Market Plaza itself is going to have 74 10-by-10 spaces with some adjacent parking for specified vendors. But then if we look to activate, there's a shelter, restroom area there in the middle of the park where I think that's probably going to be where we put Noblesville Main Street's tent and our community tent every week. If we need to, we then have the option to expand around the event lawn as part of the property with the capacity to accept around 100, 104 10-by-10 tents. And really, really proud to see this project conclude. And I'm just one of the guys on the outside, really. The city's team and Ratio Architects have done a phenomenal job from day one in the concept of this. And the farmers market is just one small thing that's going to be happening out there. So we'll do some more in the way of consumer education and vendor education. We'll open up registration for vendors from previous years first and give them really that first right of refusal to be involved, and try to take as many special needs and parking situations into account. Again, I've said it for a couple of years now that I think this is going to give us the opportunity to really promote the walkability of downtown, and working with public safety in the city to try to make that obviously as safe and easy as possible.
Absolutely, and the walkability of downtown is not one of those bucket list thing. It's here and it's now, and a lot of people like to enjoy the walkability of downtowns and strolling around. I mean, perfect example was where you live on 12th Street. I mean, you can walk downtown, and which you do most of the
Daily.
time, okay? And the ability of sidewalks and everything, that you even walked out to Harris Chevrolet Field the other night for homecoming with the kids. So, those sidewalks in the downtown Noblesville area and surrounding areas are very good sidewalks, and you have that opportunity to do those type of things, which makes Noblesville unique.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, so we've talked about the last two farmers markets. I do want to mention coming up on the 13th, we've got another little event downtown as the Bicentennial Torch comes in. And this is, I know you've seen this tracked all the way across the state, and it's really in the final 10 days of it now?
Yes.
Really nice effort put on by the state to honor the heritage and the 200th birthday, essentially, of our state. Want to let folks know what's happening next Thursday, because it will be another busy evening in downtown Noblesville. From 5 to 8 p.m., we'll have a bicentennial celebration downtown, and that will involve closing 9th Street between Connor and Logan Street between 8th and 9th. We'll have several different interactive elements out there. We're going to have a game truck for the kids. The Hoosier Bicentennial Experience will be out there, which, as I'm told, is a very impressive piece. We'll have a few community groups on Logan Street, and then kind of an Indiana artisan marketplace on 9th. I don't know any better way to phrase it other than that. There'll be some Indiana swag or Indiana gear out there for those who are interested in purchasing. And then at 6 o'clock, the Hunter Smith Band will take they'll open their performance under the tent on the northwest corner of the courthouse lawn. And then along about 7:10, 7:15, we expect the Bicentennial Torch to make its way up 8th Street and onto the courthouse lawn. There will be a small or short ceremony, I guess I should say, at that time, and then the band will conclude about 8 p.m. So we invite all of Greater Hamilton County and Central Indiana to join us for that event.
And Chris, and one thing about it with the Hunter Smith Band, and you can speak to this better than I can, but many people do, but many people don't know that Hunter Smith used to be the punter.
Yeah.
He was before Pat McAfee, right?
He was, and a little quieter.
Yeah, a little quieter, but a very talented musician, by the way.
He is.
And he also has written the Indiana Bicentennial song.
Yeah, they've got a
which
single
is out
out, and looking forward to
Indiana Moon, is that what
yes, yeah, looking forward to seeing them, and really just having a chance to celebrate. So many things we do require our direct attention. This is really a nice effort between not only the city of Noblesville, but Hamilton County Tourism, the state of Indiana, that Main Street kind of had to do a lot of the upfront logistical work, and really looking forward to a great evening. The weather looks phenomenal for the next week or so, so we hope that holds true. We'll see if anything comes of the hurricane, and just thankfully I'm not a meteorologist.
That's right.
There are several reasons for that as well.
The one good thing about this coming up is it's been amazing watching on the local TVs how it seems like every county in the state are stepping up their game for the bicentennial celebration in their county. So it's
no pressure on us to be the last 2 days, is there at all? No, but it will be a good thing. Again, that's going to be 5 to 8 p.m. on Thursday, October 13th, downtown. We'll have social media posts going out about that all of next week, and then the 15th is the final Saturday for the farmers market at Riverview, and we just talked about Federal Hill and all the opportunities that exist for us there. You know, if you've gone to the market after maybe a late Friday evening rain or an early Saturday morning rain, you know there are some challenges with navigating some of the many retention ponds that appear out there. That will not be an issue for us moving forward. We also have some dedicated restroom facilities out there and seating as well, which will be a nice thing. But we've enjoyed a long, rich relationship with Riverview Health, and certainly want to say thank you to their officials for accommodating us there for yet one more year. You know, we've talked each of the last 3 years about where the market would be located if there was to be an expansion or development for them. And been in a lot of meetings, looked at a lot of maps and needs and wants, and Riverview has just been outstanding to work with. So thank you very much to their crew. We may even do something the morning of that last farmers market. It's always a little bit sad too, you know, because you know there's something to Indiana and the change in the seasons, but you lose a little of that commonality, a little of that community element, as not as many people are obviously out in a public space like that once the weather turns a little bit. But nonetheless, that day will be our Hamilton County Firefighter Chili Cook-Off. We have 3 confirmed teams right now coming from different firehouses in Hamilton County, and so they will be with us on site that morning. Chance for folks to stop by those tents, and this is the really important one, to vote with your dollars for them, because all the funds and proceeds raised that day will go to support the Fallen Firefighter Memorial. And can't say enough about what they do, and the firefighters union here locally are very active, and just a bunch of good guys. Had a really successful auxiliary breakfast, I think, this past weekend. We got to see you there, and so many other families throughout Noblesville. It was a really good time. So that'll take us through October 15th, and then the final event for the month of October is Beards and Brews. I'm waiting to see if you're still going to start to grow your beard out.
Probably not. No, probably not. I would be embarrassed even if I let it grow. Now, Jim could do good.
Jim is more than welcome to come. In fact, everybody is welcome to come to downtown Noblesville on October 29th. You don't have to have a beard. No. In fact, we've got good craft beer down there to enjoy. You must be 21 or older. That's it's not even our rule. That's a state rule. Yeah. So, but from 12 to 4 p.m., Beards and Brews will happen in downtown Noblesville. It'll be the finals, working with our planning team and Carrie and Rich and Elena Schockweiler on what that's going to look like that day of. We have announced the first 2 preliminary competitions at Barley Island and Grand Junction. I don't have those dates in front of me right now, but if you go to the Historic Facebook page, there will be information there on when those dates are. And again, like I say, the finals are here, hoping for better weather this year. It was a little soggy last year, and that causes problems for beards.
Yes.
But we still had a good day, and look forward to another great event this year. And then let's talk about November. We're going to do the live mannequins again on First Friday, and have some help setting the scene in downtown Noblesville for some local carolers.
I'd say it sounds wonderful, and you know, it's down the road here, but this is kind of an event that maybe you need to put on your calendar ahead of time, and that's our Christmas dinner. If you want to talk a little bit about that.
We're going to have our Christmas dinner upcoming on Sunday, December the 4th. It'll be 5 p.m. at Mateo's. We are working to open up registration on our website. That'll be the easiest way to do that. In fact, I was in a little bit of a meeting discussing that this morning, and it's not your typical fundraiser that takes place at an event facility where you've got a stash of all of the same tables. So Mateo's has been great to work with and outstanding in the way they facilitate an event. But one of our challenges is not every table is the same size. So we're only going to sell by ticket number. And so let's say you want 4 tickets, but you're interested to see if there is a 4-top table available. Please contact our office at that point, and we will see what we can do to help facilitate that. But it should be a great evening. We're going to be announcing a year-end community campaign coming up very, very soon, and that's a chance for the community to help step up and support Main Street and so many of the events that we do in downtown Noblesville. Another good thing that happened as of yesterday, the collaborative group, the Noblesville Cultural Arts, I want to say committee, I'm going to do a disservice, our Cultural Arts Commission, excuse me, but the collaborative group with us, the City of Noblesville, Nickel Plate Arts, NCAC, Hamilton County Artists Association, the Belfry, Shakespeare in the Park, so many groups, Noblesville schools represented as part of that. The application to the state to be recognized as a cultural arts district has been filed, and credit to everyone involved in that process. I think we have the local commission established thanks to our Common Council, but this is going to provide opportunities for us moving forward in terms of eligibility for grants and other funding
absolutely.
to really promote the uniqueness of downtown Noblesville.
Absolutely.
So no shortage of anything happening. You want to catch up on what's going on with the events, just simply go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Noblesville Main Street. You can find us on Twitter @Main Street and on Instagram @Noblesville Main Street. Been a fun show. We'll be back next week, and like I said, we hope to have some of those renderings of the expansion of what the new farmers market will look like, and potentially pull on one of our representatives from Noblesville Parks to talk about some of the other things that are going to be planned for Federal Hill Commons.
Sounds good.
Thanks for joining us for this week on Main Street.